Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here really quickly and talk about my third riding lesson before I have some coffee and more coffee and some eggs and try to wake up a little because I've been up since 5:50 this morning. And you're gonna have to excuse my hair because I took a shower and my hair's just, yeah. So, so I had my third riding lesson this morning, and if you don't know the background, I rode horses growing up sporadically, but I had about a year's worth of lessons between 2017 and 2018. But then at the end of 2018, I just completely tried to turn the volume up on myself. I need to wake up, and so then the video stopped. Anyway, so on that date, in 2018, August 28th, 2018, I was riding a friend's horse named Smokey, and he was at the same place where like Blondie and all those horses I spent years with were. And I had a really bad fall off of him and have permanent screws in my ankle and all the shebang since then. If you want to know the whole story, look up like my broken ankle recovery or whatever on my channel. So since then I've had a little bit of a confidence knock with horses, which actually is kind of interesting because it wasn't immediate. The day I fell off Smokey, I immediately got back on. Stupid decisions 101, but anyway, I didn't know it was broken in time. And then I had to wait for my ankle to heal, and then I got back on a horse at the beginning of 2019. Everything was fine. And then I only been walking on trail rides since then until I found a place in Florida to take lessons. So I didn't know I had a confidence knock until I started trotting. Because when I'm on the ground, when I'm walking, I'm fine. But when I start trotting, my body immediately goes in panic mode. So that's the backstory. So the last two lessons I was riding a quarter pony named Trigger. Today I rode a paint horse named Jeff. And I was a little bit uncomfortable at first because, one, he was a lot taller than Trigger because Trigger was a pony, and two, it's a horse I've never ridden before. So we had a little bit of a learning curve at first, like, because he was more of like neck reining, whereas Trigger was more like, actual reins. And so it was a little bit of a learning curve for the first 10 minutes or so, and then we kind of got to know each other, and then I actually ended up enjoying riding him more than Trigger. So I'm going to put two little clips right here just so you can kind of see him. He's cute. My shirt kind of matches his little bright green bell boots. And so there's that. And so, like I said, at a walk, I am fine. I'm comfortable on them once after the first 10 minutes when I learned how to actually steer this horse. And so everything was great, and then we decided to pick up the trot. And the very first time I trotted on him, thankfully he's a lot less bouncier than Trigger because he's not a pony, he's a horse, so he has a longer stride. So it wasn't as bad. I didn't feel like I was flying as far out of the saddle, but my body, subconscious, whatever, immediately went into this, fetal position, which is not a good position to be in if you're trying to stay in the saddle. So it's kind of frustrating for me because I know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but your body automatically does this when you're scared. It just happens. It's a reflex. And so that's what was happening. And then the instructor kind of saw it happening, and so we just decided she was going to control the horse, and I was just going to focus on my seat. And I think that was kind of a little bit of a turning point for me, because I didn't have to worry about steering the horse. So I just focused on sitting and breathing because I noticed I tend to hold my breath. And I felt a lot more comfortable after that when I had some strides of trot where I actually felt like I was comfortable in the saddle. So then we tried it again with me controlling the horse, and I think it went well. I had my first couple of strides of trot without a panic. You can kind of see at the very end of this video where I'm kind of starting to do that folding over again, but I had a couple strides of trot where I felt pretty good, and I think I'm going to be riding Jeff again, or at least not Trigger again, because we kind of talked through how Trigger has this really choppy forward trot, and Jeff has this really better trot. So I'll put that video before I keep talking. And so that was it. The lessons always seem to fly by. Like when she said that we're going to do a couple more laps and then we're done, I felt like like we just started. But there is a couple takes away beyond just my issues with trot, but some good things. One, not even directly related to the horses, but just related to myself, is since I've had the reactive hypoglycemia, I get nervous, being active, and I always, I'll push myself to do anything for horses. So it was actually, the horses were in a different pasture. It was a long walk to get them, but I felt fine. I almost got stepped on by him, but I felt fine. And then I've learned how to saddle a horse by myself now. I can confidently saddle a horse by myself now. I can mostly bridle a horse by myself. I had some issues, but mostly bridle a horse by myself. So that's something I've learned, just within the last 3 lessons, is how to saddle a horse, Western. And, I've been used to the ground stuff because I did it for years with the horses in Arkansas. But I still feel really lucky to have horses back in my life. And, it's great for me. I thought I got away without being sore. I'm not as sore as I was the last few times, but I definitely didn't get away with it. But yeah, so that was riding lesson number 3. I think I'm having to notice that I'm panicking when I'm trotting. Let's just put it out there. But also notice that, hey, it's actually starting to get a little bit better after today's progress. So I'm going to go have more coffee and eat something, and then probably just kind of be lazy because that was a lot of getting up early and then riding for an hour. So, but yeah, so that's riding lesson number 3, and looking forward to riding lesson number 4.